Welcome to Cavalier Corner, a show in which we'll be discussing all kinds of fun topics related to student life. My name is Camille.
And I'm Juliana.
And today is the saddest day of my life.
Oh, Camille.
Today is our final episode as host and co-host. I'm ready to cry. Like, this moment. I am not ready. Like, honestly, I'm not ready to say goodbye, guys. Being a part of this podcast was created by Juliana. She was the one who was like, hey, I think this would be a great opportunity. And before me, she had other co-hosts where, they did a tremendous job. And now it's like, like when you have a baby, yes. And now she's taking her baby to school. So now she's like handing her baby to me to take care of her baby, to grow her baby. And I am grateful for the opportunity. I am thankful for the fact that you created this amazing podcast where I can, voice my opinion, voice my knowledge and share it with other students and connect with other students and faculty. So I know I'm making this like so emotional right now.
Camille, you're gonna make me cry. Honestly, you're like the best person for this. I cannot think of someone that's just gonna make this podcast great other than you. I mean, I know we talked about this before, but like I'm so excited to see what's happening next semester. For those of you who don't know, I think we mentioned it at least once, but I am graduating. This is my last semester, and which is, I'm going to stop being a student life ambassador. I'm not going to be at JCCC anymore. And this is a student life podcast, so Camille is going to be taking over with other awesome co-hosts who you'll meet later. Wow, this has been such a journey. I still remember we started thinking about this idea a long while ago, like with a set of previous ambassadors who've all graduated already. And then when COVID happened, we just thought that it was the best way to connect with everyone. And we started doing it spring 2020. Yeah. Like halfway through it when we were all struggling.
Oh my God.
Trying to figure out life online. Oof, that was a journey. But it's been amazing. I honestly can say that this is one of the most gratifying projects that I've had the pleasure of working in student life with, and just all the amazing co-hosts that we've had, and I'm putting you in very, very capable hands. I know it's gonna be awesome, and I'm definitely gonna keep watching. I'm not gonna stop.
So are you thinking, or would you create another podcast? And that's, it doesn't have to be student life related, but is this something that you think that you would do? Because for me, I like it, honestly, but instead of acting or being in front of videos, I don't mind audio. So I don't mind doing a podcast. I don't mind doing radio. I think that's kind of my, my comfort zone. Being in front of the camera, the lights, no, I get camera shy. But, you brought especially this is on YouTube where you can see our face. However, I'm not that nervous, but are you considering, continuing this in some other aspect? It doesn't have to be related to student life. Is this something that you're going to venture off on in the future?
I think maybe I will. I certainly consider the possibility because I like this so much, certainly have to consider how I'm going to do that and how I'm going to go about it, but I've certainly have the experience now. I know how to do it. So I may do something like this just for fun, just get my thoughts out there,
You have any specific topics that you think that you would venture off into? Because I know you like conspiracy theories, and you watch a lot of great movies and series and anime. Yes, so have you thought about saying, hey, you have a wide variety of knowledge in a specific area that you're like, that would just be cool to talk about?
Hitting me with the hard questions.
Always.
Always. I don't know. I always figured that if I was gonna do something like this, maybe in the future, I don't know, maybe do something about like mythology. I was super into Greek mythology as a kid, so maybe that's something that I might want to type into. I was a little bit of a geek, I'm not gonna lie.
Just let you know I'm free on the weekends if you want to record during the
Yes,
weekends.
yes.
I'm
Who
free on
knows?
weekends.
Maybe we'll do something on the side. Who knows?
There we go.
No, I don't know. Maybe something along those lines, or sharing like ghost stories and things like that from across the world. That's
Ooh,
something that interests me too. I mean, I know when I'm just like relaxing at home, sometimes I go to YouTube and I look up like stories, like horror stories from across the world, because they're just so interesting sometimes. I
okay, I
mean,
can't relate with that. You can have that by yourself. I am out of
there
that.
you go. So, maybe Halloween episodes, things like that.
Oh my God.
But no,
So,
yeah, that would probably be it if I ever do something like this.
so what's next for Juliana? What are you majoring in? What are you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Especially, I know that you can, in the next 10 to 15 years, you're looking back and you're telling your daughter, first of all, I had a podcast. Like, I have my podcast. Go listen to the younger version of me, get motivation, get inspired. So, what is next for you?
Immediate future, I'm going to transfer to a 4-year university and then continue with my degrees there. And right now, those are psychology and journalism. Could change in the future. I'm also considering sociology. So we'll see what happens. Nothing is set in stone. I am staying in the US. I'm an international student. So I'm staying here for at least 2, 3 more years to finish that degree. And then we'll see what happens. I've always wanted to live in Europe. So maybe that's something that's going to happen later.
Another, for your information, I am going to Spain next spring break. I'm so excited. Oh my God.
Oh,
Anyways, but yeah,
so excited.
studying abroad. I completely like, it's a funny thing that I want to do my doctorate. Like, I'm doing nursing and I'm doing my BSN and stuff. And I was like, how far can I go in nursing? Or, even if it's doing something else in a different country, like I want to study in Europe, even for a semester, a year, or just to obtain something. I just want that experience. And I'm like, I know I'm old, however, I still can do this. Do you have any, last words to students first? Like, what would be your advice, especially as someone who's venturing off and doing this transitional change? Because you've been at JCCC for what, 2, 3 years, and this
Oh,
has
yeah.
been like your home. Because I'm comfortable. This JCCC is my home per se, and then now you're going to make a drastic change to what advice do you have for students that are making the same decisions that you are right now and going through the same emotions and going through changes? What would you say?
Wow, okay. I can definitely say JCCC is my home away from home. 2.5 years is a long time, to be somewhere, dedicate your time, your whole. I mean, I spend maybe 35 hours a week here with the amount of times I work and the amount of classes that I have. Wow, yeah, I could definitely say I probably know JCCC like the back of my hand. Most places, at least most. Yeah, honestly, it's a similar transition that when finishing high school and coming here, because you're starting basically from ground zero and you're going to a completely different place, new dynamic. I'm gonna say what's a little bit different now is now that I have more experience living on my own. So then that makes me a little bit more confident, more comfortable going in, moving in, whatever. It's gonna be like an apartment or a dorm room. Don't know yet, but at least I have that little bit of more confidence than,
Independency.
yeah, as versus me finishing high school, getting out of my parents' house, different. That is different. I would say I'm a person that likes to plan. So I knew what I was gonna do already before graduation even was a thing that occurred. Like when I started here. That's the best way to put it. I already knew where I was gonna go and what I was gonna do afterwards. Maybe the universities changed, things like that, because nothing is set in stone. But I already had like a path to follow. Like I knew I was gonna stay here 2.5 years, and then I was gonna move on to something else. I already kind of have like A, B, C,
Yeah.
all the possible like solutions to the issues, because yeah, I'm an anxious person by nature, so I like to plan ahead so that I avoid that. Um, so I don't know what advice I could give other than um, if you know where you're gonna go, you have a pretty good idea of what's ahead of you. I mean, the destination, the journey is just gonna be easier, or at least it is for me.
Or the transition will be easier,
Oh,
especially if you know, yeah,
yeah.
this is where I'm going next.
Yeah, that there's always going to be, when like a chapter of your life ends somewhere and then it starts again somewhere else, there's a transition period. Obviously there's always going to be, and adjusting to that, it's going to be different. I mean, I'm going to a completely different place, bigger campus, more people. I'm not going to have a job. So those things, adjusting to that. Different coursework too, because I've been doing all my general like liberal arts courses that are required for all the majors that I'm going to take. But now I'm going to get like major specific things, and so it's just going to be more, it's going to be more intense. I already know. But I'm excited for that part of my life. I think the biggest thing that I could point out is plan ahead, you know uh just make sure that you know what you're doing,
What you're gonna do.
and
And I think another touch point that you made was, be mentally ready for that transition. It's like talk yourself through it, repeat, follow your steps, and then you can, because for me, it's like just like you, I organize and map out like, okay, for the next year, what am I going to do? And for me, I know that the next upcoming year is going to be a beautiful one. I will be as busy as a bee. And so far, I am like mapping out my entire semester. I'll be like, okay, all the things that I'll be participating in, all the classes that I'll be taking, all the things that I'll be doing. And that kind of prepares my mind for what's going to come. Like, hey, you're going to be going to all these various classes, and this is just like what you said. Mine is going to be more specific to my major now, other than me just taking. Oh yeah, I'll be taking one math class, one comp class, one this class.
yeah.
But this is going to be very specific and time consuming. So that's beautiful. What so what advice would you give to an ambassador that is, coming to be a part of this podcast? What would you tell them?
Be yourself. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Honestly, one of the most gratifying experiences of being here at JCCC is being a student life ambassador here. Oh my God, I love this job. It's just
I
so good. And all the people that you meet that are here, that are just like ready to support you, oh, I love this job. I don't know. There's no other way to say it. You have a pretty unique opportunity of getting a behind the scenes look of how student life works for events and how we support students. So that's our goal, is support students and interact with students and make sure that they know that JCCC it's not just a place where you come in, take your class and leave. You can come in, you can interact, you can make friends. That's the point, right? You make relationships that can last for years after this.
Amazing. That's true.
And so yeah, I mean, all the people that I've met, they're all so amazing, the experiences, the conversations that you have sometimes in the workroom, it's like, it's, looking back on 2.5 years, honestly, is, starting Cavalier Corner was pretty nerve-wracking at first because I'm a very shy person, so I'm going to if any of the ambassadors that are coming in, if you're shy by nature, again, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because you're just going to find out that it's going to be a very gratifying experience in the end. And for Cavalier Corner specifically, talk to Camille, she can provide a lot of guidance for you. I know for sure. And in general, just, well, you'll find out when you start working that there's a lot of people that just want to see this, they want to see you succeed. So you're going to have a support system that's going to be ready there for you, and you can ask for help in whatever you want. And yeah.
That is so true. Okay, guys, the first time I met Juliana, I was not a fan of Juliana. And the reason why I was not a fan of Juliana is because she was just so quiet. You just can't, you don't know what she's thinking. Like, she doesn't really converse. Like, she had this a shell of herself where like, she's not mean or anything, but she just doesn't talk as much. And then I'm talkative to some extent. And you would come into work and we would be in the phone room, and Juliana is just she's just too, or like, she comes in and she'll like, good morning, and your good mornings or your good afternoons, or there's like that those interactions that are pleasant. But then when it comes on to get Juliana to talk more, like, she just doesn't open that for me, where I'm like inquisitive and I'm like questioning people and stuff. When you ask Juliana a question at that time, she'll answer the question and don't like invite you to ask more, because she's just not that, so like, not social, but she just has to be comfortable around you first, or just to see. So you know how people are very observant first, and then you can know how to interact with the individual. So Juliana was like, okay, let me observe y'all first and let me see what you
That's
guys.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you hit the nail on the head on that one. That's what I do, a lot of the times I've been working on that. And I think Cavalier Corner is a testament to how far I come out of my shell. But
Yes.
when I came in here at first, it was because that's what I've always did, even in high school and before that. I was just like the kid that would just observe everyone for a little bit, for like a few weeks at least, kind of get a feel of what their interests were, what kind of like how to establish a conversation, what was the best way to communicate. And then I'd open up and then we'd start talking. And I've kind of just like adjust according to who I
Oh,
was talking to, could be pretty
yeah.
quiet if they wanted like a silent workspace, or like super loud, and talk and do all those, that have that type of dynamic. If you're someone like Camille, that wants, that
Full
banter, that
with
conversation.
energy. Like, I come in and I'm like, oh, Juliana.
So yeah, that's how I was, and I can
And
honestly
now Juliana is like she's just blossomed so much that I mean, you still have those aspects of you where you don't like, and again, that's your personality, and that's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you special, and that's what, you'll grow within yourself. You will never ever be me that walks in the room and be loud and smiling and be like, hey, what's up? You always be someone who walks in, look at the room first, observe, and then you proceed according to. So, and just how she's, because there's so much about Juliana, like, she has so much information in her brain. Like, I just talk for talk's sake. Juliana talks and have content and knowledge within that brain. And then and like, when you get
I
to
can give
know
you an
her,
essay, introduction, content, works cited page, everything.
yeah, yes, she's a whole book, like, that's just how she's. And when you get into the middle, that's when everything gets so suspicious. Like, I'm like, I got super curious. I was like, you're into anime? I just don't see you as an anime person. And she was like, what? She was like, of course. And then it was like, there's just so much to learn about her. And again, unlike me, I talk more than I know about. Like, I'm like opinion based. Juliana is fact and information, and this is why we work so much, because I can just pew my opinion out there, and she'll be like, "Oh yes, Camille," and then she gives me the facts. So that's what makes this duo so
Yeah.
amazing. And especially when we started this, like, when I joined her podcast, it's like when she's like, "You're the perfect person for this podcast, Camille. Your personality," and I was like, "Sure."
And I was not wrong. You are the perfect person for this.
I know. So, and again, this is why this duo just, like, it was a trio first. And because Carly is like a mixture of both of us, because
Yeah.
Carly has her time where she was, just mellow, and then she has time where she's like hype. Like, so she was like the middle ground between both of our personalities. So at least she would be like, I will be loud and Juliana will be calm, and then Carly would be like the transition between both of us. So that kind of just meant, made it perfect. So I don't know. Like, I don't want to say goodbye. I don't want to stop talking.
I know.
I just want to keep this going
Keep this going.
until
I know.
May 17th. So like, let's just keep recording. Like,
Yes.
I'll take you home, put this on charge, and be like, okay, no work until May 17th. Um, oh my God. But I truly appreciate it. Like, this has been an adventure. I've always wanted to do podcasts. I've always wanted to do radio, but I'm not the type to do like make that first step. And when they were like, "Hey, do you want to join the episode?" I was like, "Sure, I'll join the episode." And I came in and I was just talking, and I was like making my personality come about. And then when they were like, "Do you want to be?" When she asked me, "Do you want to be a co-host?" I was like, "You don't have to ask me twice, Juliana. You don't have to ask me twice. I'm ready. Like, I've been ready. I've been wanting to do this."
I mean, I'm so glad that I did because we had so much fun like this past 2 semesters. Camille, it's been great.
It's been amazing.
Yes.
And the one thing I know that like your structure, your layout, your commitment, I will match you. I won't be you. I'll never be as perfect as you are, but I'll match you, I'll continue to text you and email you and be like, "Girl, how do I do this?" Okay, I need some ideas. And and that's because we're gonna end up, forming a kind of friendship. Like, even though we're coworkers and now we're coworkers, but then I know that after this, again, I'm the kind of person that will not message you every single day. However, I will do those checkups, making sure you're okay, asking for your advice, keeping that bond. I am great with keeping bonds and keeping connections and then question you about the podcast and be like, "Okay, I need ideas." Like, "Girl, send me ideas for the podcast. This is what I'm coming up with."
Oh, I'm gonna be open to all your questions. Like whenever you text me, I'm just gonna be like, "Yes, tell me what's going on. How can I help?"
Yeah,
I'll be like your Yoda from afar,
there we go. There we go. And yeah, and now you see, and now I know Star Wars references. Like, now you see, this is how you keep different kinds of friends and friendships, because then you learn like friends. And this is, oh, let's try to go back to college base now. And this is why too, that when you go to college, or when you're doing a college experience, like mind is fun, sure. But when you find someone that's not the total opposite, but the opposite mindset, the opposite thinker, the opposite doer from you, that collaboration is perfect, because where that person slacks off, you make up. Where you slacks off, that person make up. And then there's just so much knowledge that comes from those teamwork, those combination, those partnerships, that I've learned so much through Julian, and I'm sure she's learned a lot through me too. She's like, okay, so it's more like, on your journey, all the journeys that you're coming up on, this is for Juliana. I know that you've learned a lot through student life. Question, do you consider, would you do student life again? Like, to going to your next university, or going to your university, would you
Yeah,
consider doing student life?
hmm, I think I might, I don't know. In whatever kind of department that I end up with, I know that I'm gonna work in the college campus. Um, Probably gonna be in a student life branch again. Probably. I know it's gonna be a very different dynamic. I mean, this is
I was just
college,
about to say that, like, nothing tops JCCC student
No,
life. And if it tops it, let me know.
no, I don't think it's gonna top it. I think it's gonna be a new type of challenge to face. Definitely, because it's gonna be more people, different environment, you know, that kind of thing. So I'll be excited to see if that's something that I'll be up for. I think I probably will. I think you'll find me in my next college campus, and I'm gonna be some kind of ambassador there too.
Or maybe you'll be working, like, especially if you go into the journalism,
Yeah,
you'd probably be working for their paper,
yeah,
writing
yeah.
articles and stuff. So
That
that,
yeah, I see myself doing that kind of thing. I feel like if anything, JCCC has taught me a lot about, customer service, engaging with others, all those kinds of things, skills that you should have, that are very helpful just in life in general, not even
And
the work environment, but just in life. So I've learned so much here, and I know that I'm going to take everything and just use it and hone it, and keep perfecting those skills.
that's so true. So yes, guys, you guys, on-campus jobs are amazing. It is amazing for engaging with, fellow college students, for creating, like, it comes with so much professional building. I think that's what it's called. Like, you kind of build yourself professionally. Because now I've been so organized when it comes on to certain things. Like, I've been my I've always been a cheerful, happy person, but now I learned how to engage in a professional way, instead of, because us leaving high school and learning engagement is just by talking to our friends. You go to a business place, that's some experience, but learning to engage in a professional, setting, and especially communicating with other departments, like those are some skills. Answering the phones
Oh,
and learning patience.
yes, could tell you. Yes.
JCCC has taught us how to create an event from scratch and to execute that event so much. So if you consider, working on campus, the benefits, the growth you'll receive from this. See, Juliana end up doing, creating a whole podcast. That is something that she can always, use as future results. Like, this is something that she created, especially if it's, probably there was contributions from other people or something, but this is something that she got up, she got an opportunity to create and to venture off. So it's something that she has the experience now for future. So
Yeah. Oh, I
no,
definitely can say that a job in the college campus, wherever you are, is just gonna help a lot. If this is your first time college experience and you're getting out of high school and you just like you've had jobs before, but it's just not, it's not the same. And when you work in the same place that you're studying, you get a lot more out of it. You really do. It's a whole different type of experience. And
I
it
agree.
it gives you a lot of just engagement skills overall, particularly student life. I know we've had a lot of like in our team meetings, we have a lot of conversations about teamwork, building trust, all those kinds of things that are important in any work environment. And
True.
so just the fact that we have those things, that they're building us up, for the future. Basically, it's like,
And
oh,
it teaches you time management too,
oh,
because
definitely.
managing a 20-hour job and taking 12 credits, sometimes 13, 14, and 15 credits per semester. And then, because we're both student senators as well. So, all of those combined kind of give us that time management skill. So it kind of creates some skills within you,
Yeah.
um, making us more a little organized, because, we have deadlines. Like, this podcast needs to be uploaded, which this has always been Juliana's work. So Juliana is the one that, does I just show up. Basically, I will be frank. I just show up and have conversations, or she'll email me and she's like, "Hey, we're going to interview this person's. What are some questions you want to ask them? Do you know think?" And then I'll be like, "Okay." And then I just randomly write some questions. But Juliana has been like the master brain behind all of this. Like, she's been organized. She was like, "Okay, let me schedule our Zoom links." She's done, and then she tells me, guys, she tells me that wait, what is it called? Where
The captioning.
Yeah. So guys, okay, this is yeah, we have to log off in a bit, but let me tell you guys, Juliana's told me, like, she was telling me all the things that she does for the podcast, and it makes me feel bad because I have not been helping her doing most of these stuff. I just show up, and then Julian was like, "Yeah, and I caption it too," and I go, "Caption?" I was like, "Caption? So you mean to tell me that we have to, she will sit down. Like, this is something that she's been doing or she has done for a long time, where she sits down and she captions the videos for YouTube.
Yeah.
So she'll sit down and write all the things that we say down. Like, sit down, guys, and write all of this. And I was like, if I knew that, I would talk less. I was like, and then she was like, Camille, you might have to do that. And I was like, me? This has been like an ongoing joke for Julian and I, where I'm like,
It has been. Oh, yeah, I've been captioning since the beginning. Since
yeah,
the first episode, I've been doing that. So,
no, no. Anyways, what are your final words, your final thoughts?
it, oh, this has been an amazing time. This has been an amazing journey. I've grown so much. I've learned so much. Just being one of the co-hosts of Cavalier Corner is just, I'm gonna miss it, you know? And you're gonna catch me every week tuning in to see what Camille's gonna be talking about next.
You
It's just
texting me, Camille? Okay.
where's that video? Just gonna see, I'm gonna be there. Yes,
And always, like, if I'm doing something wrong with your baby, text me and tell me, say, Camille, what you're doing is wrong. I'm joking. But I remember, oh, another thing. I'm sorry. There's just so much memories that comes from here. But I remember, especially our first couple episodes, where we would have to be like, cut, we can't say that on air. Cut, no, we can't say that. Okay. And then we would like make a lot of mistakes. And it was just hilarious how we've grown too, because now we kind of train ourselves mentally, like certain things like you can't say, like don't say that, like, so now, our editor, Samantha, truly appreciate you, and she has done an amazing job. Like, if you've seen like the previous episodes, and then when she just came in and she puts her touch to it. Like, she brought her everything to it. She is like dedicated. She's very talented, and she's also leaving. So guys, can you tell how depressed I am? Because my two best teammates are leaving me. Like, how am I going to function?
but you'll do it. It's gonna be great, and I'll be excited to see what's gonna happen. Next semester. You'll catch me just texting you, being like, "When are you gonna upload the video this week?" I will be here listening to every episode, Camille. I'm excited to see who the other co-hosts are gonna be, how that's gonna work out. I'm excited for everything, And I'm sad to have to, move on, but I'm also excited for, the next chapter of my life. And I can honestly say that I'm gonna look back at these years with so much fondness. I've grown a lot. I've made some incredible connections, incredible friends, and the opportunity to be able to host this show and just be able to bring it to you guys, be able to interact with you guys in a different way, and hopefully bring you some comfort during all this crazy 2020 2021
2021. I know.
switching into this year, all this crazy situation. Hopefully we brought some joy to your life, and you've been able to engage with us on in a virtual reality that we have right now. So that that's all that I can really say, is that I am glad that we did this. I'm glad that I got to be a part of this, and I'm yes, yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say I am thankful. I am grateful. I am just, I appreciate the fact that you brought this to life. I appreciate the fact that you stuck with it throughout. Like, for some people, they have dreams, but then they don't really push for it. But you pushed to make sure that this is possible. You kept the content great. You kept your information and the facts you provided students with. Like, we have, and it's funny that sometimes now is not when they listen, but best believe in a couple months, a couple years, you'll see persons are tuning into these episodes, and they're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. And for those who we do help right now too, I'm sure that we've provided a lot of guidance. And this is all, from your dream. This is all from something that you wanted. You wanted to create this podcast, and you wanted to provide students with information. You wanted to engage with students. So I truly appreciate you. I'm thankful to be your co-host. I'm thankful to share this podcast with you. I'm just,
Oh,
I don't
Camille.
want to say goodbye, guys. I
Oh,
don't want to say goodbye. Like,
oh, Camilla's over here trying to make me cry today.
no, don't cry.
All the
Don't cry.
feelings. Oh,
All
oh,
right, guys. Wait, do you want to do the last outro or
oh, you're gonna, okay.
do it, do it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I don't think we're gonna have any links in the description this week. We didn't really say anything about, other than our links for our social media pages, which we are always JCCC Student Life on Instagram and Facebook, and Cavalier Corner on all of our podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of them. And thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for coming along and tuning in and engaging with us. It's been a pleasure. It really has been. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, thank you. And we will have her back. Like, I'm going to have you back, especially like we're going to do a checkup. I'm going to do a checkup. This is going to be, guys, look out. I'm going to do a checkup on all the previous co hosts and see where they are. So I'm going to have Cambry, I'm going to have Johan, I'm going to have Carly. We're all just going to do a nice checkup just to see, what we're doing, where we're going, and what's going on.
That's
So,
an
again,
episode.
guys,
Yeah.
yes, I just thought of this because I was like, no, I want you to come back so you can do the intro and be like, hey, y'all remember that? Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day and good luck on finals. Well, finals will be done yet? Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be done.
Finals will be done. So have a great summer. Like, do things that you've never done before, adventure out, learn something new, be good.
Couldn't I
Bye.
have said it any better? And to all the graduates, congratulations, everyone.
Yay!
Congrats.
Graduation is going to be the 21st. So
Oh yes.
have
So
fun.
yeah, have
Another
fun.
milestone.
Enjoy the summer. Everyone that's coming back, have fun. Keep enjoying this journey. Bye, guys.
Bye.